All right, this next one is talking about money that needs to be spent to get leads coming in. And the question, or I'm just going to call it the excuse that I get sometimes, is that people just don't have money for a marketing campaign. And that can be true. I mean, you know, a lot of people get into real estate or wholesaling houses because, you know, they need money. They need extra money. So they're looking for other ways to create an income for themselves and their family. Or maybe they're sick and tired of the job that they have and they're looking for an alternative to that. But what they run into is a lot of times, once they actually get into the business, they realize that, hey, I actually have to invest some money into myself. I gotta get, you know, I gotta get some marketing going to get some leads coming in before I even have a chance at making money. And that's true, and it's also, there are alternatives as well. What I always recommend people do is to start off by getting leads coming in from some kind of free method. And if you have, you know, the reasoning that you just don't have money for any kind of marketing campaign, that's what I would recommend to you too. You can get on Craigslist and find leads on Craigslist. They're out there. In fact, I have a course that is specifically built around building a system that will bring you leads from Craigslist. There's no cost at all aside from the cost of the course, but that is a very cheap way to get leads coming into your world. What I find a lot of times is that when people are starting off, there's lots of questions and doubts and insecurities and, you know, things that prevent them from working very effectively. And it is kind of a struggle to get yourself up to speed. And the reason I say that is because if you're just starting off, it's better to have a free source of leads rather than a paid one, because you might make the same mistake that I did early on. And I made a lot of mistakes. One of the mistakes I made is I paid a ton of money for this really slick, or so I thought, yellow letter campaign to absentee owners. And I spent thousands of dollars getting all these leads coming in. But here's another kind of revealing insight on yours truly. I had hundreds and hundreds of leads coming in, but I just let those leads sit there and rot, basically, because I procrastinated, and I was basically just really nervous about talking to private owners. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know, you know, if they had questions that they were asking me, I didn't know the answers to them, and it just had all these doubts, and it just stopped me from doing anything. And if that at all sounds like something you might be struggling with, don't spend a bunch of money on a marketing campaign until you have much more practice in, you know, talking to sellers. And the way to get practice is get on the phone. You know, get the Craigslist leads coming in, or, you know, some other, you know, free source of leads, and get on the phone, talk to sellers, get through this period of where you have these insecurities and you're struggling with your negotiation and talking to people, and save the investment on a big, slick, fancy, you know, direct mail campaign until you're really, you know, comfortable and capable at talking to these private sellers. Okay, so back to the main question: where to get money for your marketing campaign? Well, you gotta invest in yourself. I mean, if you got a credit card, throw it on a credit card. If you got some money coming in from some other deals, you know, by all means, invest in some marketing of your own. I mean, it's a good thing to do by all means. A lot of times, the quality of the leads that you'll get from a dedicated direct mail campaign are going to be better than the ones you're going to be getting off Craigslist. But hey, please don't make the same mistake I did and invest a ton of money in a marketing campaign until you know that you can effectively work those leads. And that means getting the leads in, that means talking to the sellers, that means tracking the offers that you're making, and that means following up with those offers, because you don't want leads coming in unless you can turn them into money all the way through the process. And the way you can, again, the way you can get all of those things set up and get all your ducks in a row is by using some free leads, okay? Free leads first, learn the business, learn your negotiations, master talking to sellers, and then invest in yourself. That's my recommendation and my insight from making all these mistakes early on myself, and that's what I'd recommend to you too, all right? So let's move on.